So here's the central question for all of us who live in this country. How much power do the tech companies have over our democratic elections? American Institute for Behavioral Research and Technology senior research psychologist Robert Epstein weighed in on that question on this show. Watch.
We should be extremely concerned because I can tell you the bottom line here is content no longer matters. All that matters is the filtering and ordering of content, and that is completely in the hands of Google and Facebook. I think the problems can be solved at some point, but at the moment, I think democracy is in trouble.
Well, that probably woke you up. Dan Bongino is a contributor to NRA TV and a frequent guest on this show. He joins us tonight. So, Dan, why is this not a much graver threat than Russia? Why is this not a foreign threat from a foreign country to the heart of our democracy?
Well, it is, Tucker. I think that's obvious to rational people, but that assumes we're dealing with rational people. We're not. We're dealing with politicians in a media swamp that's interested simply in combating Donald Trump, and they believe, I believe wrongly, that the Russian narrative works for them. But this targeting of conservative content is very real. Anyone on these social media platforms has experienced it. I've experienced it myself. I actually have the trifecta for you. I was banned from running ads on Twitter for what they cited as inappropriate content, which is odd because all I post is conservative content. That's all I do. They never explained what the inappropriate content was. On YouTube, our videos for our podcast get flagged all the time. They have a little yellow button, and when it turns yellow, you can't earn any money on it. Now, that doesn't happen as often to liberal friends of mine who do the same thing. And on Instagram, we have a tough time getting a blue check mark despite, 60,000 followers. So this is very real. And when it happens to candidates running for office, which we've seen, it's even worse.
But it doesn't even need to happen to candidates to threaten the rest of us because it shuts down part of the conversation, and that inevitably has got to have an effect on how people vote. If you don't hear ideas, obviously you can't internalize them. So why isn't that right there a threat to our elections?
No, it is, and what they want is they want to have it both ways. What they want, Tucker, these social media platforms. Let's be clear on this. They want the protections of being an open platform. In other words, in plain English, hey, we're not responsible for what people post. Don't sue us.
Exactly.
But then on the other hand, they treat themselves like publishers. They have these, they call them, the new catchphrase is the algorithm, Tucker. That's really a selective process of weeding out conservative content and giving favor to liberal content in the new public space. You can't have it both ways, guys.
Exactly. An algorithm is editing. That's what we used to call it in journalism. Dan Bongino, thank you for that. So crisp, as always.